Hi, I'm Alan Ross. I'm the managing editor of APC Media, or APC Technology Productions, Transformer Technology, Power Systems Technology. We are here at the RE Plus 2023 event in Las Vegas. This thing is huge. It seems like the battery storage people have come here. So we've got wind, solar, battery storage, and everything in between. But hope you enjoy these interviews. I love interviewing the technology of the future, and enjoy. My next guest is Adam Straub. Adam, it's really good to see you. I know your company. We've done an interview before, but now you're going to do a better interview because this is an interview that focuses on renewable energy. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background in the industry.
Yeah, so I started about 10 years ago as a technician as Anita company. Kind of got in on the ground floor, just a helper, worked my way up to a senior technician in about 4 or 5 years with them. Moved over to a company in Texas. Was really focused heavy on oil and gas. And then from there, I got an opportunity to start Anita office in Houston. Built that and was there for about 3.5 years, moved up to the director, and I ran services for all of them.
Who was the company you opened the office for?
Power Engineering Services. So between myself, the owner, and one other gentleman, we kind of started and grew the company to about 100 employees. And then I got the opportunity with Paul earlier this year in ARENT to kind of take a different approach to this industry, right? Services that have been my background, and now it's still servicing, right? I'm servicing clients, but instead of servicing their gear, I'm servicing their equipment needs.
Yeah. So you've been around the industry long enough to have seen a lot of the problems. I don't know how much time have you spent in the renewables area?
Probably the last 2 years, 2.5 years, really. It was a big push at Power Engineering Services, and then everybody here is that is where it's where the growth is.
Yeah. What are the problems you see out there?
The demand's outpacing the supply, and the supply for materials, the supply for manpower, the supply for technology. It's just the demand is so far beyond where the capability is of the industry, and that's not a knock on the industry. It's just the demand. Like, we need the infrastructure to be able to support the grid that is constantly growing.
And a lot of that infrastructure, we are replacing, and we're building different, because now we got a whole bunch of different, like EV charging we're not anywhere. I rented one, right? I was at 48%, and I basically pulled over because I didn't know how far it would get me. But there's a lot of change going on. At this event, it's pretty obvious at RE Plus from the other events that the size of the event, and it's also scaled because we have a lot of storage. I mean, large scale, utility scale storage. So now when you have solar and storage, wind and storage, now you have a solution. It also creates a whole bunch of problems downstream, right? We gotta support that, but also there's a lot of interconnectivity. Somebody once said we have chaos at the interconnectivity level. That's a lot of what's going on in the industry. From your perspective, you got to be looking at this and going, wow, I'm learning about things that I didn't do at NITA, right? And what are some of the things you're learning about?
IV curve tracing is a big one. And then you mentioned the interconnect. I think that everyone is kind of focused on, we're building solar and we're building battery, but they don't think about how to get from A to B, right? It's great to have the solar and the battery, but how do you connect that so it's usable power at home? And that to me is a pretty big challenge, and something that I'm learning quite a bit about too in the industry, and where I can kind of fit in and help our customers. And at the end of the day, the goal is to get my customers whatever they need. But sometimes I don't know what they need, so trying to identify their problems. Do
you think sometimes they don't know what they need?
Never want to say that, right? But
yeah.
I think so, because I think there's so many people kind of jumping into the space that it's not as cut and dry as build a substation and then turn it on, right? And they're having to learn that through trial and error.
Yeah, build a substation, but based on what?
Yes.
And based on where? Yes. Where's the power come from? Where's the power going? And there's just so many variables. It's absolutely amazing. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about ARENT. ARENT is one of our sponsors. We love you guys for doing that. But you used ARENT back in the day when you were working with NITA, right?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about that time, talk about now, be on this side of the table, and talk about what it is that ARENT does that makes you unique.
So at the end of the day, everyone owns the same equipment. The OEMs are, the Dobles, the Raytechs of the world, but it's how you take care of it and how you approach the care that goes into the equipment. We functionally test all of the equipment, so if you get a transformer test set, if you're going to power factor, winding resistance test a transformer, we have a transformer in our shop that we perform those tests on, so we know it works when you get it. The worst thing for a testing technician is to get a piece of equipment in the field and have it break.
Yeah.
I know that's worse than not having it, because if you don't have it, you can kind of shift your game plan and be productive somewhere else while you wait. But if you think you're testing transformers and all your equipment gets there and it's broken, well, now you're in scramble mode and you wasted an entire day, and then your customer's mad and your boss is mad. So we take great care in the way we package and maintain our equipment to get it to our customers.
As you said, there's different equipment that people can use. Is there any training that you all get involved in? Because use of the equipment, there's a big labor shortage in the people that use equipment, right? I mean, everybody's looking for people. So you might not get smart enough technicians to know how to do it. Your equipment's not broken, the technicians. How do you cover that?
A lot with myself, right?
Don't say that. You weren't one of the broken technicians. You were fine.
No, I mean, I'm here to help at the end of the day. Everyone at A-Run wants to help. We just want to, yes, make a sale, right? That's what matters. But you want to help the customer get through their problem. If they're in the field and their technicians don't know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, we'll call and we'll walk you through how to test it. I can't interpret your results for you, but I can tell you how to use the test set. I can tell you how to hook up. If you come to our office, I'll take time out of my day and I'll show you so you're comfortable with it. So you can run your test, but so you're safe on top of it, right? It's great if you run your test and you get good results, but at the end of the day, you want to go home. You want people on the other end of the cables, if you're VLF and cables, to know that there's, 60, 65,000 volts running through that cable. Don't touch it, So that's the number one, is we want to make sure people are safe. And then, gladly take time out of our day and explain to our customers, help them understand what they're doing, the test sets. We're a pretty good resource. We've got a lot of guys with experience in the field. We've got electrical engineers on staff. Sometimes we have more hands-on experience than the actual OEM does themselves, and that's not a knock on them. They built it, they engineered it, so they can answer questions that we can't sometimes, but they don't always understand the field perspective side of it. So I think it's a good mix, but that's call, right? And we'll walk you through everything we can. I flew out last week to a customer in Abilene because they were going to do some testing in a substation. They never worked at the piece of equipment, so we ran through it in their shop. They had some switches that they wanted to do contact resistance on, and I'm happy to come out there, do hands-on work with you guys. I like it still. It's my background, so it kind of brings me back to my roots.
I think that's an incredibly important distinction, because the gap, and it is a gap, the labor in that market has been leaving the market as 5% reduction. There's an 8% growth in demand, and we've never met both. So we're about a 13% gap in technicians out there. And then it's, are they one or two or three? Have they really understood how to use the equipment and different equipment? Yeah. Renewables, different equipment. I mean, it's a transformer, but it's inverter based. Now you got a lot of harmonics and crap in the system. But the fact that you're talking about walking people through it and having people who've used the equipment, so you can practically say, okay, avoid this, do this, don't do anything, I'll be there. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Absolutely. If they want, don't, hey, stop, let's kind of walk through what you're doing. If you need to, let's FaceTime, let's make sure that you're secure. And most of our customers don't have that level, right? They have resources within it, but every once in a while they call us because they're busy. Everyone's busy. Like you said, there's a giant reduction in manpower, so they're stretched thin already. So if we can add a little bit of extra support to our customers, whether through the equipment, but then also through technical support, happy to do it.
That is a brilliant and important distinction. It's not just about the test equipment, it's about the results from the tests.
Yes.
The equipment and the labor, everything goes into it. But anyway, that was a great way to fix it and a great way to tell us about it. But thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate the time.